1 in 31 kids has autism. That's two
Right.
and a half, almost 3% of our population. And so even if I opened 1,000 clinics, there are still not enough compared to the number of
Right.
kids that are looking for this service. Even though we have 72 locations now, every single one of them has a waiting list of kids. We don't have to advertise or market at all. We don't have any social media campaigns.
Mm-hmm.
Our social media just basically has our success stories
Mm-hmm.
and shows the things that we do for the kids.
Welcome everyone to another episode of Your Lab Central. Today I have with me Nichole. So Nichole, would you like to tell our audience why they should be excited about this conversation?
My name is Nichole Daher, and I founded the very first autism treatment franchise in the country.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are looking for a business that not only makes profit, but actually makes a difference in the world, you should be excited about the opportunity to franchise and open your own Success on the Spectrum franchise.
Now, where did this motivation come from? I'm sure there's a story behind this, so let's get started with that.
Of course. So, just to begin, I had no experience with autism whatsoever, but my daughter was diagnosed with autism when she was 2 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And when a child has autism, you're supposed to get therapy for them. ABA therapy or applied behavior analysis is what is usually suggested by doctors. And it was wonderful. It taught her how to talk, it taught her to make eye contact. She potty trained. She was doing all the things that she had been missing, all those milestones that she couldn't do on her own. This ABA therapy was really, really helping her. But I found out that most ABA companies that exist in the US only serve children up to age 6. And once they turn 7, they're graduated out.
Mm-hmm.
And so when she turned 7, I was horrified as a parent. I'm like, what are we supposed to do now? What support do we have? She's been making all this progress. Now that therapy is stopping, is she going to lose that progress?
Mm-hmm.
Really upset me. So the whole reason behind this, the beginnings of this company, was really just for her. I opened the company so that children over 7
Mm-hmm.
could find help. And I didn't realize, I was just doing it for her. I wasn't doing it to own a national franchise. This was a complete accident, really.
Yeah.
Uh, the demand for this service is extremely high. There are so many kids with
Mm-hmm.
autism, so many kids looking for this service, and so few competitors out there that
Mm-hmm.
there's way more kids than we could ever keep up with.
Right. And yeah, how's things? I mean, how are people responding to it? Obviously, you're getting a lot of positive response from parents and everybody, right? But what exactly changes that causes doctors to say that, yeah, now they're graduated, now they don't need therapy anymore? Why is it that something, a mechanism like this exists?
Well, the doctors want the kids to have therapy forever, as long as it takes for them to be functional in the world. But ABA therapy places typically don't teach kids after 6 because they start becoming bigger.
Mm-hmm.
When you get those puberty hormones, you might get a little bit of aggression,
Mm-hmm.
and bigger kids in general are just harder to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
And so they just want to say, oh, they're school age now. Let the school deal with you.
Okay.
And that breaks my heart, especially I'm from Texas, and the school
Mm-hmm.
systems here are absolute garbage. And especially the special needs departments, it's just not, they don't have that specialty training to deal with a kid with autism. And they, the ratios of students to teachers are just too high.
Mm-hmm.
So they really can't help kids like mine.
Okay.
So it's just not a good solution to just throw them into school and hope they do okay.
Okay. So what are you doing different? I mean, have you brought in more therapists? I mean, you're dealing with bigger kids. Do you have, I mean, obviously you wouldn't call that manhandling, but obviously there has to be some kind of, would you call that punishment or correction, something of that sort?
So ABA therapy works purely on reward, and we
Uh-huh.
have no punishment whatsoever.
Hmm.
So we try to uh, create special environments, because some of the reasons why these kids throw tantrums is because of sensory overload or sensory
Mhm.
sensitivities. And so we design our centers to be very sensory friendly. We have some group rooms with group activities like what you would find in a school, but every kid gets their own private individual tiny room, and that's what makes us different. That's what makes us special. We also have one technician, not a therapist, but a technician working per child. So it's one-on-one instruction with the kids.
Mhm.
Unlike a school where there's one teacher and 10 kids running around in different directions, we're able to give them individualized instruction. Each kid has their own curriculum based on what they need to learn specifically. So it's highly individualized, highly specialized. We give in house certifications for restraints and holds in the event that a kid does get aggressive. We don't want them hurting themselves or hurting other people, but we do it as ethically as possible. And we use this system of rewards to help encourage the kids to
Mhm.
continue making progress, like building the desire to want to do the right thing, as
Mhm.
opposed to punishing them and making them afraid of doing the wrong thing.
Should I get into the economics of this? I mean, it sounds a little too expensive, right? One person per kid, and then hiring that person, and they also have to be very sensitive. And then again, the parents have to be paying. I don't know. It must be costing a bomb, both to you and as to the parents as well.
I'm so glad you asked that because that is the best part about this business.
Mhm.
Parents pay nothing.
Okay.
Health insurance pays for everything. So, health insurance companies, whether it's state funded like Medicaid or it's private commercial like Blue Cross Blue Shield, Aetna, Cigna, whatever it is, insurance pays $10,000 a month per kid. So,
Okay.
as a business, if I have 25 kids in my clinic, I'm making $250,000 a month.
Mhm.
Guaranteed payment, not chasing parents down for anything. The health insurance gets the claims and they direct deposit the money straight into my business bank account. It's recession proof because if dad loses his job, the kid has still has his insurance paying for everything.
Mhm.
If the economy goes down, we're not depending on disposable income for parents to be able to afford this service. Everything is automatically covered by health insurance as an essential healthcare service.
Okay, I still don't understand insurance a lot, but yeah, if this makes business sense, then of course this is a great business opportunity. Yeah, and there's a lot of value that is being created for the parents as well as the children, right? They're getting to grow up to be fully functional adults and then live their lives normally.
Exactly. Some of these parents, because their child is so sensitive to different things, or because they're afraid of aggression, or maybe the child is a heck of a lot faster than they are. And if this child runs into the parking lot, what are you going to do? It's dangerous. So, teaching this kid to have safety skills, teaching them to have independent skills, it does benefit the parents because they get to live their lives. Maybe they can finally go out to eat for dinner and they haven't done that in years. Or maybe, this kid who's 7 years old, who's been wearing diapers his whole life, is finally potty trained. So now they can go places and
Mm.
not have to worry about, do they have a bathroom big enough for me to put an adult diaper on my fully grown child? So it helps both the kids and the entire family unit.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know about the kids themselves. What are your favorite stories? Is there a favorite story that you have?
There are so many stories, but it's really an amazing feeling
Mm-hmm.
when doctors have told a kid their whole lives that they would never be able to talk, and we teach them how to talk. And if a kid isn't able to verbally speak, we can
Mm-hmm.
teach them to type. And so, these parents think, oh, they'll never talk, they'll never be able to get a job, they'll never have a relationship. And then, everybody carries around a phone in their pocket all the time. Now they can type what they want, show it to the person, and they can order their food at the restaurant by themselves.
Right.
And these independence just,
Mm-hmm.
butterfly effects down into a life where they can have a job and they can have relationships and they can have kids on their own because now they're
Yeah.
able to communicate.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so special. We've had so many stories of kids that did what doctors say they would never be able to do, and it's such an accomplishment for them but also for us.
Yeah.
I A lot of people want to start their own business, but they want something that matters, they want something that means something but is
Mm-hmm.
also profitable.
Yeah.
This checks all the boxes. It is such a feel good job where you love what you do and you feel like you're making a difference in the world, but you're still bringing in lots of profit, having a good time while at work, and you're surrounded by people who also love
Yeah.
helping children.
Now, where are you getting these technicians, as you call them? Are they qualified therapists or are they qualified in something else? I don't know. Who are
That
these?
is the easiest part. Yes. So the technicians is an entry level job. You don't need any experience at all. All you need is a high school diploma. And we have
Mhm.
an in house certification program where we train them and we
Mhm.
certify them to become registered behavior technicians. Now, you
Okay.
do have to hire one medically licensed professional, and that's called a behavior analyst. So, the
Mhm.
behavior analyst is the one that does the assessments on the kids, writes the curriculum for the kids, and teaches the technicians what to do with the kids.
Mhm.
As a CEO, you're just doing administrative work. You're doing payroll and bookkeeping and performance reviews. You're doing all the hiring and firing because you're the boss. But CEOs don't need any special experience with kids or any special experience with autism. We teach you everything that you need to know, and you
Right.
hire the behavior analyst that has that specialization in autism.
Okay, that's an interesting way because yeah, you're franchising it out, right? And now tell me something about this lighthouse. Where did this come from? It's just there on my screen, and I'm curious.
This is a 3D printed lighthouse that one of my franchisees made me as a gift.
Okay.
It has our logo on it. It's very cute. But um, the main comment that we get online on the internet is that we are serving as a beacon of hope for families because we're showing them the light at the end of the tunnel. We're helping give their lives back after
Mhm.
autism symptoms take these things away. So this is just kind of my inspiration at the end of the day to see that, you know, we shone a light on somebody's life and help them live better.
And what were the challenges in coming up with the business model for this? Let's talk a little about the business itself. Like, how did you come up? How did you decide that, yeah, this would be the business model that would suit everybody? Because, yeah, first you would have started with a therapist probably and saying, yeah, one therapist, one per child, but then you would thought this is not economically viable, right? And then you would have picked out people, entry level people, putting them on per child, and then one behavioral analysis analyst, right? Could you just ride me through that?
It was a wild ride because I had no experience. And so
Hmm.
I had to figure everything out myself. Of course, the first clinic that I opened was really just supposed to be for my daughter. But after more and more and more parents called and wanted admissions,
Hmm.
I opened a second clinic. After I was running two clinics, that one got full very fast as well. And there were so many kids, I couldn't handle it by myself.
Hmm.
And I saw how profitable it was, and I saw how good I was at running it. And so franchising just seemed to be the answer. It seemed
Hmm.
like I needed to open more clinics because so many more kids needed the help, but I couldn't do it myself. That's too much work for just one person.
Yeah.
And so as of today, in the US, and we're only open in the US as of right now, but in the US, we have 72 open and running locations,
Hmm.
and I have 30 more in development. And so by
Okay.
the end of the year, I hope to have 100 open and running locations, which would be amazing.
Yeah.
But 1 in 31 kids has autism. That's two
Right.
and a half, almost 3% of our population. And so even if I opened 1,000 clinics, there are still not enough compared to the number of
Right.
kids that are looking for this service. Even though we have 72 locations now, every single one of them has a waiting list of kids,
All right.
waiting list.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have to hire people as fast as we can and open as many clinics as we can. And we will never run out of business. We will never run out of funding. It's just an amazing opportunity with high demand, low supply, no competition to be heard of.
Yeah.
It's like being Microsoft in the garage, you know, like it's not big yet, but you know it's going to be huge. That is the position that we're in.
Uh, are you facing any challenges in scaling, or is it just blowing up as you're seeing it?
It's it's blowing up so much. The only challenge we really have is the turnover in technicians. And I think for an entry level job, that's kind of normal. Even if you ran a pizza place, you would
Yeah.
hire 20-year-olds to deliver your pizza and they would just quit whenever they felt like it. So
Yeah.
that's the only real challenge we face, and it's just
Hmm.
so common. We've done a couple things and added in some new benefits for our staff to help reduce that. But
Hmm.
it's easy to find employees. It's very easy to find clients. It's very easy to collect payment from insurance. Everything
Yeah.
is pre-authorized, so you're guaranteed payment. It really is as smooth as a business as you could possibly get.
And yeah, let's talk about how do you do promotions for this? Do you even have to do any promotions for this? Because the way you're describing it is actually pretty self-explanatory that you're having waiting lists on every location. But are you actually doing any engagement on social media trying to create awareness about this issue? And then people are coming to, parents are coming to reach out.
We do have some social media stuff that we put out there just to help parents find us. But honestly, if you look at any other franchise that exists in the world, you would have to pay a marketing fee.
Mm-hmm.
We don't charge that. We don't need it. We don't have to advertise.
Mm-hmm.
If a doctor tells a mother, "Hey, your kid has autism. This is the ABA treatment that they need," immediately the mother is going to go on Apple Maps or on Google Maps and say, "Where's the nearest ABA company to my house?" And whatever pops up, that's where they call first. If you exist online, the whole build it and they will come phrase. If you exist online, they will find you. And so we don't have to advertise at all. We just need to exist online. So
Mm-hmm.
for all of our franchisees, we build them into Google Maps. We build them a social media page. We put them on our website. And that's all. We don't have to advertise or market at all. We don't have any social media campaigns.
Mm-hmm.
Our social media just basically has our success stories
Mm-hmm.
and shows the things that we do for the kids. We also have this community outreach program that's really cool because these kids may or may not ever go to school, so they don't
Mm-hmm.
experience some of these like milestone activities like prom that you would get
Mm-hmm.
if you did go to school.
Yeah.
So every year in April for Autism Awareness Month, we throw a huge autism prom in all the cities around the US that we're in.
Right.
And we just kids of all ages just dance and they can flap their hands and act weird and nobody cares. Everybody's just having a good time. We have bubbles, we have music, we have glow sticks, and the kids just have so much fun and the parents actually get to relax and meet other parents like them.
Mm-hmm.
In the fall, we do festivals. In the summer, we do water and foam parties. We do
Yeah.
pictures with Santa Claus in the winter. So we do all these really cool events, and they're always completely free for clients or and completely free to the public. You don't have to be a client to attend. But I think that brings a certain amount of awareness to our
Mhm.
company as well,
Yeah,
that you have a free event, they recognize your name and who you are, and the kids get an opportunity to socialize with each other.
yeah. That's a great opportunity, right? Even for kids to uh, do that. So these kids that you have coming out, do you have a specific age by which they go out into the wild as independent persons, or is it like you just continue with them as long as you feel that they are? Is there a average period that you have with every child?
So every kid is different, and
Yeah.
some kids will learn very quickly and others very slowly. It all depends on the severity of the damage in their brain or the operation of their brain. And so I will say that the younger a child starts therapy, the easier it is for them to learn. Your brain is so malleable as a small child.
Mhm.
You can teach a 3-year-old 3 languages in a year and they'll be
Yeah.
fluent, but an adult would take forever, right?
All right.
So if we start them young, if
Mm-hmm.
they start at 2 or 3 years old, I can guarantee that in 5 years, they will be ready to integrate into a mainstream school and they'll be
Mm-hmm.
fine.
All right.
But the kids who start therapy late or were diagnosed late, they didn't get any help until they were 7 or 8 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Those kids stay with us a lot longer.
Okay.
But on average, kids stay with us in therapy for 3 to 5 years and they don't attend school They stay with us full time, just Monday through Friday, 8 to 4, just like a school, just like a daycare, whatever you want to call it. They stay with us all day. Mom drops them off in the morning, picks them up in the afternoon. So we get very attached and we get very close with these kids, being with them 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
And you really get to know them well and get to see how good it is when they
Hmm.
actually make progress.
Right. And when they integrate into the school system, are there any specific challenges that parents have to take care of? Because once they're out of this therapy, there are specific things that need to be taken care of, like aftercare or something of that sort.
Yes. We usually, when we transition a kid into school, we don't just cut off therapy. We just start them as a part time after school therapy. And
Hmm.
so we still see the kids in their home instead of in our clinic
Hmm.
after school hours. We help them with homework. We ask them if they made friends. We help solve any problem. If the teacher reports that something happened that day, he threw a tantrum or
Yeah.
he tried to hit somebody, we talk with them about it. We give them alternative behaviors. We practice with them, pretend play, making friends and
Yeah.
doing homework, interacting with their peers. So we don't just cut them off after they go to school. We
Right.
still like to help them and we still continue with parent training sessions.
Hmm.
And that kind of helps the parents cope with new things that come up along the way. And
Yeah.
of course, during the summer when school is out, we can put them back into ABA therapy and kind of catch them up again
Right.
before school starts again in the fall.
So, yeah, I don't know. Before we close, where can people get to know more about your business and about you as well?
There is a ton more information on our website, sosfranchising.com. So if you are thinking about opening your own business, we highly encourage you to check into this business model. And
Mhm.
if you go to sosfranchising.com, there are tons of videos to watch, of course, but there's the contact us button. And just for your guests this week, if you are listening to this podcast, and if you mention that you heard about SOS on this podcast, we will give you a free flight to Houston to visit our corporate office and actually look around and inside one of our clinics, ask questions, see what the business looks like, what it's about, and if you think it is for you. And if everything is good, we move forward. But if not, no harm done. You still have that free flight to check everything out.
Thank you so much, Nicole. I know I'll take that flight to Houston. I know, but yeah, it's just that I'm on the other side of the globe itself. So yeah, that'll be a little difficult. But let's see. Okay, thank you so much, Nicole. Thank you for joining me in on this episode, and I'm sure a lot of children would benefit from what you're doing and from the business that you're in. Sorry, I didn't ask you this earlier. How many children have actually graduated? I don't know if that is the right word, but have gone out in the real world after going through your therapy till date, if you have some round figure?
So far, we've served about 5,000 kids cumulatively. So far, about 3,000 of those have graduated therapy and have integrated into mainstream schools.
That is amazing. Thank you so much. Thanks once again for joining me and Nicole. To the audience, if you loved our conversation, do leave a like. If you want to add to it or if you have some questions, the comment section is always open and you can reach out to Nicole as well. And don't forget to subscribe before you close the window. Thank you so much, Nicole. Thank you for joining in and thanks to the audience.